Okay. Let's try out, see how this works. The sound might be a little. Let me see. Oh, that's great. That's great. All right, we had some technical problems. That's what stopped this the live the last time. But we are reading until we reckon by Danielle Reed. We're live on Instagram too. Let me know how the Instagram live sounds. It shouldn't be too bad, but we'll see. Oh damn, I didn't see that. My fault. Okay, we're still on chapter 1. We got started reading a little bit late because we had to finish up Rise of the Warrior Cop. That was a bit of a lengthy book. What does that mean? Am I live right now? Hold on, let me see the Instagram. Okay, good. Okay. Getting all the kinks worked out. Okay. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. Dual platforms for now. Soon to be trio. We're gonna try to get this Twitter things worked out. So we are reading we're on chapter 1, Across the River of Fire rather. Until We Reckon by Danielle Reed. Damn, I like this. This look powerful. This is like a powerful setup right now. Okay, we are gonna start. I can't remember exactly where I left off, so we're gonna start right here. We're gonna start around page 30 of Until We Reckon. These needs are widely recognized, legitimate, and eminently possible to meet. When it is our priority to meet them. We know what survivors need to heal and be safe. And again, let me know how the sound is on Instagram. Let me know how the sound is. May 30th Alliance sound. May 30th Alliance Instagram. May 30th Alliance that for Instagram. Okay. The problem is that our criminal justice system delivers almost none of these things to the vast majority of victims. Most victims do not report crime. A significant portion of reported crimes do not result in arrests. Many arrests do not result in convictions, and the result of convictions, including incarcerations, often do not meet the victim's needs. Victims' voices are almost never heard during this process. Although trial may offer an opportunity for some victims to speak, 94 to 97% of convictions nationwide are results of plea bargains, not trials. So exceedingly few victims see a day in court. Their questions are unanswered. Their voices excluded. Their input legally not required. With the exception of victims' impact statements, which have not been shown to significantly affect sentencing outcomes, and their preferences frequently disregarded. Many victims describe their experience of the justice system as re-traumatizing. Many report being treated with suspicion or hostility, and many report experience bias based on their identity. Oh, hey, how's the sound? How's the sound in the Instagram? Let me know if the sound is good on the Instagram. Leave a 1 in the comment. I'm gonna keep on that. Leave a 1. Leave a 1 in the comments if the Instagram sound good. People concerned about crime survivors must grapple with two things when thinking about criminal trials. Number 1, it is important to understand how trials affect victims in practice, not just theory. And number 2, what happens at a criminal trial has very little to do with almost any victim experiences. A number of study documents. Excuse me. A number of studies document the negative impact of trials on crime victims. The experience can be overwhelming and even harmful. Due to the stress of the process, the lack of clarity about the timeline of the proceedings, the difficulty of facing the person who harmed them or their loved ones, the desire and or pressure to testify, the experience of being doubted or invalidated by the defense counsel, whose job is to doubt and invalidate testimony that will result in their client's conviction, the difficulty of dealing with gaps or contradictions in memory, a common feature of trauma and a problem on the stand, the experience of reliving the crime through hearing testimony. Hello, what's up? What's up? Ah, oh, damn. No, not yet. Hanging. Damn.
Well, I'm gonna go to Wendy's.
To Wendy's? I ain't never had no breakfast from Wendy's. What they got? I'm allergic to eggs.
Okay.
I'm allergic to eggs.
I mean, you can have a sandwich with just no eggs.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I just can't have no eggs. I'm allergic to eggs.
How many of it is?
Leslie, right? He's still asleep right now.
Hey, thank you. I didn't even see him.
Yeah, no, thank you, no problem. You be good, be easy out here.
Just the two of y'all?
No, that lady, she in her car right now. She in her car, but she over there. So yeah, but she like them breakfast sandwiches and things like that. All right, thank you. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Oh shit. Let's see. Right, we'll go right here. The experience of reliving the crime through hearing testimony, including often heart-wrenching testimony like a coroner's report on the autopsy of a loved one or a doctor's report about a surviving victim's own body. The sense that their voices are not nearly as central or consequential in the process as they had imagined and or been led to believe. The strains of taking days or weeks off work, of getting back and forth to court, of coordinating childcare during the trial, and of managing expectations, their own and others. Each of these experiences can be painful. Taken together, they can be damaging and re-traumatizing. During and after a trial, many victims experience a recurrence of symptoms that had abated or an amplification of symptoms that have persisted. Okay. The result of a trial can provoke in a significant portion of victims' feelings ranging from disappointment to outrage. Even victims who are satisfied with the result report that they found the process extraordinarily difficult and even harmful. And for victims who are ambivalent about the extreme punishment of the person who hurt them, even a victory can feel at best hollow, and at worst like another addition to their pain. However difficult and detrimental trials can be, they remain the only formal forum in which victims get to have their voices heard and sometimes get answers to their questions. A forum that the prevalence of plea bargains has all but eliminated. In most jurisdictions, more trials probably air on reruns of Law and Order in a given month. In most jurisdictions, more trials probably air on reruns of Law and Order in a given month than take place in actual court. As mass incarceration has grown, so have the systems that feed it, including court processing and policing. The work required of all parties to go to trial creates a shared disincentive. Let's see, where throwing me off a little bit. Okay. The work required of all parties to go to trial creates a shared disincentive to do so. But the prevalence of plea bargaining is also the product of practices in which the prosecutors pursue charges that are in excess of what the defendants actually did or what can be proven. The higher penalties associated with these magnified charges present defendants with a hard choice. They can admit their guilt and be offered a shorter sentence, say 1 to 2 or 3 years in prison, or they can run the risk of going to trial. And if they are found guilty of the top charge against them, they could face a much longer sentence and even life in prison. Many defendants do not have the confidence that they will be getting a fair hearing at trial, so the risk becomes too much and they accept the lesser offer, even when they would have had a stronger chance of being found not guilty at trial. This practice also distorts victims' experience of the process. Someone who committed an assault, for instance, might be charged with an attempted murder, but may ultimately accept a deal to plead guilty to a lesser charge of attempted assault. For the defendant, the specter of the attempted murder charge, artificially inflated though it may be, compels him to take a plea deal without exercising his right to a trial. For the victim, the conviction for the lesser charge of attempted assault can feel profoundly disrespectful of his experience. As one survivor once said to me, "What about the assault on me? What about the assault on me was attempted? He didn't attempt it. He did. And I still have the scar to show for it." We are left with a result that is not satisfying. To either party, does not reflect the reality of what occurred, and has not been subject to the rigors promised by the Constitution to defendants accused of crimes in our courts. It is crucial that in this context to note that a survivor-centered system is not a survivor-ruled one. Valuing people does not mean giving them sole and unmitigated control. The criminal justice system maintains a responsibility to safety, justice, and human dignity that it should uphold even when those interests run contrary to survivors' desires. So if a survivor wants someone free and that person poses a present and demonstrable threat to others, the survivor's opinion should not inherently outweigh the safety of others. Similarly, when a survivor wants a level of retribution that runs contrary to the values of justice and fairness, The system does not have an obligation to satisfy the person's desire for punishment. The system's actors do, however, have an obligation to listen to the survivor, be transparent and honest with the person about the decisions they make, and connect the survivor with healing supports. And when it is possible for these actors to fulfill their obligations to safety and fairness while also meeting the needs of the survivor, they should do so, even if that means seeking a less punitive response that they might otherwise have sought. And this feel good. Live on two things. Share this live on both. I don't know. You can share. What time is it? I might need a. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Nah, I'm gonna move my car real quick. The parking meter just came by. I'll move my car for 1 second. I just need to move up a spot. Okay. Real quick. Alright. Here we go. We're going to get back started. Damn, I lost my place. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Here we are. Sorry, here we are. It is crucial in this context to know. Nope. That's not where we were. Okay. Here we are. Let's start this sentence over. The system's actors do, however, have the obligation to listen to their survivor, be transparent and honest with the person about the decisions they make, and connect the survivor with healing supports. And when it is possible for these actors to fulfill their obligations through safety and fairness while also meeting the needs of the survivor, they should do so, even if that means seeking a less punitive response than they might otherwise have sought. That said, even a plea bargain is far more than most victims will ever see from the criminal justice system. Fewer than half of the reported violent crimes result in an arrest, and fewer than half of those arrests end in convictions. But what's more is the fact that only a fraction of violence gets reported to the police in the first place. In considering survivors' experience of the criminal justice system, we must begin far earlier than the re-victimization that often happens during the court process. We have to begin with the survivor's decision whether to engage with the system at all. In recent years, a full 52% of victimization in the In recent years, 52% of violent victimizations in the United States went unreported. Hello. Have a good day. Even in cases of the most serious violence, reporting rates were strikingly low. A full 56% of cases in which victims were injured went unreported, as did 42% of cases involving a weapon. Even 29% of cases involving a serious injury went unreported to police. For example, when the victim was knocked unconscious or sustained injuries, such as a broken bone, a gunshot or stab wound, or internal injuries. More than half of the people who survived serious violence preferred nothing to everything available to them through law enforcement. The reasons victims give for not reporting to law enforcement include a belief that police could not or would not do anything to help. A belief that the crime, even a violent one, was not important enough to report, or, most commonly, a decision to handle the victimization another way, such as reporting it to someone else or addressing it privately. Even though people's experience of victimization varies based on their identity and where they live, these reporting patterns Even though people's experiences of victimization varies based on their identity and where they live, these reporting patterns hold across demographic groups. What's more, these estimates are widely regarded as understating the issue, as they reflect the participation of the people those reached by and who decided to participate in the National Crime Victimization Survey. Those who do not interact with or have access to systems of contact and care, or whose victimization is so minimized that they do not even identify as such, are not represented in these already strikingly high numbers. When one considers the short and long-term consequences of unaddressed violence, ranging from physical and emotional pain for people harmed to cycles of violence that result when harm is unhealed. These rates point to a practical and moral crisis in tending to the needs of crime survivors, as well as a formidable challenge to securing public safety. Survivors make practical decisions about whether to engage law enforcement, based in part on whether they believe that doing so will meet their needs for safety and justice. It has been widely debated and documented that these beliefs often stem from survivors' view of police. But another factor is likely underestimated. Survivors' view of jail and prison. The survivor's view of jail and prison. What if the barriers to survivors reporting crime involve a disbelief that the end result of the justice system's involvement, the incarceration of the person responsible, is right or will work? Thus far, debate about the causes of underreporting has focused almost exclusively on whether victims believe police involvement will make a difference. The discussion has rarely examined the degree to which survivors consider incarceration an effective means of securing justice and safety. If survivors believe that a police investigation is likely to result in the incarceration of the people who hurt them, and if they do not believe that incarceration will result in a greater safety or justice, why would they pick up the phone in the first place? When people are deciding whether or not to call the police, they are likely to ask two questions. Will it advance my sense of safety? And will it advance my sense of justice? If the answer to both is yes, we call. If it is no, we do not. If we answer yes to one question and no to the other, we make a judgment about which of those things is more important to me. In a criminal justice system that produced safety and justice, crime survivors could consistently answer yes to both of those questions. But that is not what they do in this country. Rather, in the richest nation in the world, with arguably the largest and most expensive criminal justice system in human history, the majority of people who survive violence prefer nothing to everything we have to offer. It is an extraordinary fact to observe, and one that points to a moral crisis that is ours to answer to. For years, we have been told the story that crime victims in this country want and need incarceration. We have been told that it is their overwhelming preference for what happens to the people who hurt them, and that it delivers them healing. In the 1990s, I had the fortune to learn from a mentor who helped me see clearly through this myth than I had before. Annie was the elder I knew and loved. Annie was the elder I knew and loved living in East Point, Atlanta, and she was brutally robbed and assaulted one night by a young man roughly the same age of her teenage son. Everything in the criminal justice system response went as well as it could have. The police came quickly and treated her with respect. The person who hurt her was identified and arrested. The assistant district attorney showed Annie care and compassion. Hello. Oh.
I forgot sugar.
Okay, sugar.
I'm gonna grab her one.
Okay.
Ari,
Go ahead.
I'm thinking that these might be the ones with no egg.
No egg.
Open. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. You're fine. No, you're all right. Yeah, I'm all right. We can end this right now. Pick back, eat real quick. We're gonna take a breakfast break. That's what we're about to do. We're about to take a quick breakfast break. We'll be right back. 15, 20.
Baby, do you want a chicken sandwich?
20 minutes. 20 minutes. Around 20 minutes. All right.
These are yours.
And okay, these are mine. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
because they don't have no eggs.
They don't have no egg. All right.